Today we're diving into 15 JRPGs that absolutely nailed the storytelling. If you're looking for mind-bending plot twists, incredible character arcs, and worlds that you just can't stop thinking about, you're in the right place. Grab a snack, settle in, and let's jump right into these masterpieces. Let's kick things off with Tales of the Abyss. Honestly, if you can survive the main character Luke for the first 10 hours, you're in for a treat. He starts off as this spoiled, unlikable brat, but his character development is easily one of the best in gaming history. The whole plot about Luke's origin and the meaning of life gets surprisingly deep. It's got that classic Tales action combat, but the story is what really sticks with you. It's a long journey, but trust me, it pays off. Plus, the opening theme Karma by Bump of Chicken still hits hard today. If you want a deeply emotional story about the brutal realities of war and the tragedy of fighting your best friend, this is the gold standard. Building up your headquarters and recruiting all 108 stars of destiny is insanely addictive. Honestly, I probably spent way too much time doing the cooking minigame instead of actually saving the world. And Luca Blight is still one of the most terrifying unhinged villains in gaming history. Thankfully, the HD remaster that dropped last year in 2025 means you don't have to pay crazy eBay prices anymore. You have zero excuses to skip it. Moving along, we have Octopath Traveler 2. The first game was great, but this sequel, they fixed almost everything. The 8 different stories finally feel like they connect, especially with the new Crossed Paths chapters. Visually, the HD 2D art style is just chef's kiss. It's gorgeous. I personally started with Hikari, and his revenge plot had me hooked immediately. The turn-based combat is incredibly satisfying, especially when you break an enemy's shield and go all out. It's just peak classic JRPG comfort food, but modernized perfectly. You can't talk about wild JRPG stories without mentioning Final Fantasy VIII. I know the junction system can be confusing at first, but the story is a roller coaster. Squall starts out so angsty, literally saying whatever to everything, but his romance with Rinoa is actually super touching, and the whole time compression plot twist with Ultimisia, still crazy to think about. Let's be real though, half of us just spent 50 hours playing Triple Triad instead of saving the world. Radiant Historia is one of those hidden gems that more people need to play. You play as Stock, and you literally travel back and forth between 2 different timelines to stop the world from turning into sand. It sounds confusing, but the game handles it beautifully. You'll make a choice, see everything go horribly wrong, and then jump back to fix it. The grid-based combat is also super fun because you can push enemies into the same square and combo them. Seriously, don't sleep on this one.
Here you go.
Before we continue the video, I want to inform you that right now, there are tons of crazy deals in instant gaming, especially if you love RPG games. Remember how expensive modern gaming lately? Well, not anymore, since you can get so many amazing titles with crazy discounts in instant gaming. Can you believe that just with $10 or even less than $5, you can enjoy one of the best gaming experiences in your life? Just look at these titles. It used to cost like $30 or even more than $40. And to make things even crazier, some games even drop so far to just $1. If you're a smart guy, you know what you have to do. All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platform. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list.
The apocalypse was coming.
Trying to explain 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim to someone is like explaining a fever dream. You have 13 different main characters, time travel, giant mechs, kaiju, and a talking cat. You experience the story out of order, and somehow by the end, it all pieces together flawlessly. It's basically a visual novel mixed with tower defense combat, but the narrative is an absolute masterpiece. If you love a good sci-fi mystery, this is a must-play experience.
No fight I can't win.
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and its sequel, Radiant Dawn, tell arguably the best political war story in the franchise. Ike is such a refreshing protagonist because he's just a mercenary, not some chosen prince. The themes of racism between humans and the Lagus are handled surprisingly well. And hey, great news! As of January this year, Nintendo finally dropped Path of Radiance on the Switch to GameCube Classics library. So no more paying $300 for a used copy, now we just need Radiant Dawn.
Controls are locked and cannot be used.
This place sure is big.
Nier Automata will completely break your heart and leave you questioning your own existence. You play as androids 2B and 9S fighting machines on a ruined Earth. It starts as a stylish action game, but then it forces you to play multiple times to uncover the real truth. The soundtrack is hauntingly beautiful, and Yoko Taro's writing is just brilliant. Do not stop after ending A because the true ending is one of the most powerful moments in gaming history. Persona 4 Golden is basically a supernatural murder mystery mixed with a high school simulator. You move to the small town of Inaba, hang out with friends, eat way too much steak at Aya, and jump into TVs to fight shadows. The investigation team feels like a real group of best friends. And speaking of the Midnight Channel, I am so hyped for the Persona 4 Revival remake that just got announced at the Xbox Showcase this past June. Hopefully there are no delays. If you want a mature, gritty story where your choices actually matter, Tactics Ogre Reborn is top tier. This game is the grandfather of tactical RPGs. You're constantly forced to make brutal moral decisions that completely branch the storyline. The writing is incredibly sharp, focusing on war, politics, and betrayal. Reborn updated the combat to feel much smoother, and the voice acting really elevates the drama. It's tough, it's dark, and it doesn't hold your hand, but the narrative payoff is absolutely worth it.
Careful, Maya.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33 blew everyone away when it dropped last year. The turn-based combat with real-time parries is so slick, but the story is what won it, Game of the Year 2025. The paintress waking up to paint a cursed number every year is such a terrifying concept. And if you haven't played it recently, they just dropped a massive thank you update DLC with the new Versus Drafts area and some brutal new bosses. It's the perfect time to dive back in. You literally cannot make a list about great JRPG stories without Chrono Trigger. A dream team of creators came together to make this time travel epic, and the pacing is still unmatched today. You go from the prehistoric age all the way to a ruined future, and your actions in the past actually change the future. The characters are iconic, the music is legendary, and honestly, playing it now just makes me miss Akira Toriyama's brilliant art style even more. It's practically a perfect game. Xenogears is one of the most ambitious stories ever told in a video game. It tackles heavy themes like religion, psychology, and human existence, all wrapped up in awesome giant mech battles. Yes, we all know about the infamous Disc 2, where budget cuts turned the game into a visual novel with characters sitting in chairs explaining the plot. But honestly, the story is so incredibly profound that I didn't even mind. It's a messy masterpiece that every hardcore RPG fan needs to experience.
Professor Epstein, the one who knows the secret of the 8 Genesis.
The Trails series is basically the Marvel Cinematic Universe of JRPGs. The world building is insane, spanning multiple games and countries, with recurring characters popping in and out. The political intrigue and character writing are on another level. It's a huge time investment, but the payoff is incredible. If you've been putting it off, the gorgeous Trails in the Sky First Chapter remake came out late last year, and they even dropped a big version 1.07 update for it this week in August 2026. It's the perfect starting point. Finally, the Xenoblade Chronicles series. From climbing a giant mechanical god in the first game to the emotional roller coaster of Xenoblade 3, this series is just epic. The interconnected lore across the trilogy is mind-blowing, especially when you reach the Future Redeemed DLC and see how perfectly it ties the whole Klaus saga together. The massive open worlds are stunning, the soundtracks are legendary, and hearing British voice actors scream random battle chants will never get old. It is an absolute must-play journey.